Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. We're getting started. Just waiting for a few other things to come through. I'm seeing some people come in. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. If you are on Facebook and you haven't done it already, just make sure to go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that I can see your comments. And on YouTube, I can already see them. And if you don't know where to connect, if you're on Instagram and want to join on YouTube or Facebook, all my links are in the bio. Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We're on day 15. Today is a really special one. This is the third trio, the third group of 7. So we started off, this is day 15. And at the top of each of these 7 days, this trio of 7, we've always had a special stone. We had selenite with the angels. The angels came in and brought in celestite for the first day. And then on the 8th day, we actually had labradorite, which opens a lot of just really beautiful energy that came in. That was a really big day to start off the next group, kind of led into this beautiful energy. And then today we have the spirit energy of the Herkimer diamond. Oh, I can pull that up for you right now. Get you look at it, get tuned into it. It's really, really difficult to photograph these pictures photograph these stones because they are just so many facets in them. So I did the best that I could. Oh, let me give you something cuter than that. Hold on a second. Pull something up individually. 130. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Oh, I see what happened. They just pulled up all of them at once. Okay, let's try this again. Those were all the pictures I was trying to get to get the right angle, and it's such a beautiful experience. I think I mentioned this before. If you guys just want to play around with photographing crystals, it's such a healing exercise to do that. Okay, so look at this beauty. We got some rainbows in there. Can't see it, but there's actually a very profound record keeper in there. It did not want to be shown, so I respected that. But it didn't want to be shown directly, but it wanted to give off these rainbows instead. But you can see that some of the rainbows are in like a little bit of a triangular shape. But it's just such a beautiful stone, lots of facets to it, lots of light it brings in. And so I'm glad that it's here to finish off our last week, our last 7 days of 21 days of crystals. You guys made it 2/3 of the way through. We just have 1/3 left. Again, triangles, that kind of triangle, the energy of 3 coming through all the way through here. So I think we've got everyone in, and I wanted to check on one little quickie. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Let's see. I think everything looks good. I always like to just make sure that I see the YouTube on, because I don't have that anywhere else here. I do see it. We are on. Okie dokie. Guys, we made it to day 15. It also happens to be day 1 of Kwanzaa. So what a beautiful just synchronicity to be able to bring in the new year, the new 2021. We will be ending on 1/1/21, as will Kwanzaa. So, and then this is the last 7 days, which is perfect that we're bringing it in with the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Today is actually Umoja, which means unity in Swahili. So Kwanzaa in particular is referring to first fruits. It's a celebration of African American, Pan American. I am not an expert on this by any means. Let me just clarify. I just wanted to honor this beautiful tradition that is put forth to honor a culture that really has brought so much life to the rest of this world. And I'm honored to be able to honor that. And that the timing aligns so perfectly with everything here. So I was guided that these crystals are going to be aligning with a lot of these energies that come in. So I'm excited about that. We're talking about unity. And if you want to, again, in Swahili, it's umoja, from what I understand. Having sung many years, and the Agape Choir, one of my beautiful spiritual teachers and soul teachers, Ricky Byers, brought forth a beautiful song about Kwanzaa song. And so we were able to integrate the energy of those keys and of the messages behind the principles. So I'm just excited to share that with you all, a little bit of it. Okay, so the Herkimer, speaking of all this, beautiful light that we're talking about today, is actually a quartz. It's actually a type of quartz. They call it the Herkimer diamond because look at that puppy. I mean, it's just beautiful, right? I'm going to talk about the different types here. You notice they're double terminated, meaning they have a point at both, and natural point at both ends. Okay, so this is an actual naturally double terminated stone. Here's another one. I'm showing you these because these actually have record keepers on them. And you can catch it. It's meant for you. Let's see if I can find this one first. Yeah, oh goodness, you can't miss that one. If I get it at the right, I don't know if it's going to want to show for you guys. Ooh, it flirted. It flirted with y'all, but it's there. But anyway, just tune into that beautiful energy of the codes that are in the clarity of the stones. Now, we're going to talk about the different aspects of the Herkimer itself. Those are pretty clear stones. There's also anhydro, which actually means that water is included in some of these too. It's actually little drops of water. Again, it's so difficult to relay these. The beauty of these. But again, beautiful. And this one actually has little babies on the top of it. You can see kind of growing out of it. See that? Little tiny babies growing. You can get the energy of the water kind of going through. It's a different kind of sparkle that it gives. And then, so those are kind of the clearer Herkimers. And then these are some of the included ones, meaning they have inclusions in them as they're developing, but I really want you to see the matrix. This is from my beautiful friend, Yulia. So the reason they're called Herkimer diamonds is they're actually from Herkimer, New York. That's where you'll find them at. But you can see here some of the druzy, some of the smaller crystals that are shaping, and it looks just like carbon rock. Just like we know diamonds are made of carbon, right? Pressurized carbon, but these are really unique stones. So that's the matrix. So this one, we could talk about the inclusion, see how the other ones were so clear, but this one actually has a lot of the carbon still in it. But there's still powerful energy. I'll talk about the difference between these as well. Just to kind of give you an idea, there's a little bit more crackle in there. Some of that happens from the processing of these mines. We may talk a little bit about that because we are, some of them are using dynamite and things to get the stones out or to get into these mines and open them up. And sometimes the shock, really, really heavy shock can affect them. But there's still powerful messages in there as well. See some of the rainbows trying to come through. All right. And another one too that's just got a little bit of rainbows in here. Okay, so welcome. I think that gave some time. I killed some time there to allow some more people to come in. My name is Lisa Sadowski. I am the founder of Life's Remission, where I assist women in remission to get past their fear of recurrence and tap into that life of unshakable inner peace and freedom from fear. Any of you who have not had that experience of cancer understand the concept of a recurrence of maybe looking to clear that, of recurring patterns that are blockages that are keeping us from living our fullest expression of what we're here to do. So when we, this 21 crystals came through as an aspect of tapping into that inner freedom, the first mission was to survive, whether it be from the experience of cancer or some traumatic experience that has affected our life moving forward, right? The first mission was to survive. The re-mission is to thrive. So I'm here to assist in a thriving environment and to make sure that we are all tapping into the highest aspect of ourselves. So basically we're here to do a 21-day journey through all of these crystals and make sure that we kind of get the messages that are coming through each of them, understanding that they are simply a reminder of the perfection that exists within us. We're not here to worship these things. We're not here to expect them, anything outside of us to fix us. We're here to attune to the beautiful nature that parallels our own and our at a soul level that can tune into us. And these perfect replications of nature, if you will, come into our field for many reasons. And it's historically been something that if you look back even from a religious standpoint, we have been imparting wisdom into these stones. Many of the avatars that we know of, our highest spiritual beings that are out there, have actually etched this information physically. You look at Moses, right, in etching the 10 Commandments into the stone. You have in Egyptian days, actually putting inside of the pyramids, inscribing, and as it's indicated is that all this information that's coming through is divinely guided. So divine has actually utilized these crystals, these stones, as a method of light, a library of light energy, a library of wisdom for us to tap into. And our ancestors have participated in that. So there's a very deep correlation with our ancestral lineage, our DNA of expression, and where we are today at a point in our lives where we are ready to evolve to the next iteration of the human consciousness collectively. And we're all kind of locking arm in arm at this point to be able to say, what is it that we want to create in this next reality? And we have these beautiful stones. We have actually things like oils, essential oils that I've talked about before, and things, and getting in the habit of setting a sovereign space, a sacred space where you know that you're tapped into that oneness, that unity of one field. And all of these tools are here to assist us to connect with that. And Herkimer diamond in particular is excellent when it comes to connecting to that spirit energy. So what we're going to be doing today is I'll cover a little bit about the Herkimer diamonds, talk a little bit about that, and then what has been known to be available to us with regards to the Herkimers. And then I was guided by Spirit to go through each of these stones and talk about from a higher, deeper, and wider perspective, going higher, deeper, and wider into what each of these crystals mean, how that correlates for our life, and how it can help us with our spiritual expansion. So we're going to cover all that today. And then at the end, we'll do a beautiful meditation, kind of close it out and let you go for the evening, morning, whenever it is for you all. I know we've had some people all over the world tuning into this. So again, we're on our last 7 days. We made it 2/3 the way already so far, and we are here ready to move forward and get these last 7 days in. Like I said, I'm really excited that it's right in line with Kwanzaa, the first day of Kwanzaa. So we get to celebrate all those principles as well as we go through this. Just divine, interaction there is just so beautiful. So I showed you some pictures of this beautiful stone. You see that right there for you to kind of tune into the codes of it, see whatever kind of resonates for you. But basically, this is the Herkimer diamond. It's a quartz. It's actually a type of quartz. It is not considered an actual diamond that we see. This is specifically a Herkimer diamond quartz that is out of Herkimer, New York, as I mentioned before. And as you can see how clear it can be, and even with the inclusions, it's still got beautiful reflective nature to it, right? It's got some gorgeous rainbows in there, if I can get it to sparkle for you. Yeah, right? So even with the inclusions of carbon, this is still a really powerful stone, and it's a magnifier is what's of stones, what it's kind of been referred to. So remember we talked about phenakite, I don't know what day that was. I think it was on day 6 that we covered phenakite. And again, that's a magnifier of stones. If you have a smaller stone or something that's not quite great quality, Herkimer or phenakite, like I mentioned before, are excellent magnifiers of stone. In order to be a magnifier, you know, they come with some energy and they're no joke. So it's doing a lot. This comes in with, as far as the elements of the earth, this comes in as a spirit energy, or some people call it a storm energy. You've got earth, wind, fire, and water, earth, wind, fire, water. And then some people call it storm. I call it spirit. That is actually balancing all those elements. So Herkimer diamond actually has all of the, an aspect of all of the elements and the spirit aspect that balances them out. And when they come into our field, first thing they're looking to tap into is balance. Is tap us into, if there's certain elements that we need more assistance with, if there's certain elements that we kind of need to work on a little bit more, this is where Herkimer comes in to kind of assist with that balance and revelation of some of these truths. Powerful dream stone, a visionary, assists with visioning. And it's also another purifier. If you've noticed, we've had a theme of this, like we had the violet flame energy of purification come through a couple of days ago. We had a little bit through fluorite yesterday to come through with that purifying energy again. And there's been this beautiful theme. As you know, I did the order of these crystals came in a specific manner, and I was instructed that the order that they come in was for a specific reason. There's a flow to the order of these crystals. So as you're going through, you'll notice that there's a little bit of like a setup for the next day. And I don't know if you've noticed so far, but these meditations have actually beautifully led in and segued into the next day's lessons as well. So there's been a lot of beautiful synchronicities here that I'm just enthralled by. Okay, so from the dream state, assists with lucid dreams, remains, you can basically remain conscious and physically conscious in an unconscious state. Sounds odd, but this is where, actually, if you look into the work of Joe Dispenza, he actually works on a lot of the concept of meditating, from a conscious state, like conscious meditation. We're bringing forth that wisdom and integrating it into the body. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this is the theme of the year: integration, embodiment, taking these beautiful teachings that we've been really excellent at going out of body to tap into, but now we need to integrate it in the physical form. I mean, that's why we're here in the physical body, is to integrate this beautiful wisdom and bring that into the new earth, if we will, as we create it collectively, and allow that wisdom to take shape and to manifest and to unfold in our individualized expression of such. So you're going to hear me talking a lot about, I mentioned it in some of the other days, that I am a preacher of sovereignty. I'm here to tap you in to that highest aspect of yourself that knows what's the highest and best is for you and acts upon it, okay, and integrates that at the body level and acts upon it. So what we're doing here with these stones that have brought us up to today, the Herkimer diamond is here to open up that mind, connected to that spirit energy, right? We've worked with a lot of the wind energy before that opens up the mind to opens up that connection to spirit. Now we're directly working with spirit today. This energy is directly with spirit, bringing in that divine source energy straight into the crown, into the body, and integrating that light and expanding us in such a way that we can actually allow more light to come into our bodies. Whether you understand this terminology or not, it's all good. Understand that the message is here at an emotional transmission that is happening and coming at you, has the highest love and light of intention, and it's understood and it's intended. The sacred space has been set that any of that which comes out to anyone who is here, whether it's now or in the future now moment, that which they are ready to receive, that which they are open to receive, and that which will serve their highest and greatest good at the pace that works for them will be delivered. So even if you do not understand these terms, if these things are going over your head, if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, or for some of you, I'm going a little bit too slow for you, understand that the energetic output here is so rich and full and of highest intention that it is of your interest to simply be in the field of these transmissions, because the avatars that have stepped forward, the ascended masters that have stepped forward to speak through this information, to get it out to you, are of the highest love and light. And again, I deal directly with source, and then it's kind of categorized through these different languages, if you will, that come through. And this crystal language is one of its own. So I'm here to kind of translate for you. I'm a crystal liaison just for you. So, all right. So we've got, they're very good for healing grids. I mentioned, I don't know if it was like selenite, I think, when we covered selenite. The concept of a grid around your body, laying down and placing crystals around you to allow that energy to kind of integrate into the body as well. Herkimers are fantastic with that. Not only just by themselves to grid them around your body, but also when you're working with other stones in sync with Herkimer, again, it's a magnifier. So if you have little stones or that you'd like to grid with your body, and meaning placing them on certain energy points, or even just certain parts of your body that you're moved to place them on to see what healing is meant to come through. Herkimer also assists with accentuating that, with magnifying that energy. So understand that it's a little bit of a boost. And if you're you're feeling a little bit like this is, if you're working with a stone that you've typically worked for, you bring Herkimer in, and it's a little bit more intense. Understand, number one, it's for your highest and greatest good, but number two, that it's probably the Herkimer that is assisting with that, right? It's reminding us of this capacity that we have to expand even further with even the crystals that we've been using for so long, right? So we've got healing grids and larger stone grids. Larger stone grids actually create, and go with me here, actually can create dimensional doorways, a capacity to either travel. If you, and when I say travel, this could be out-of-body experiences that you might be participating in your dream time, etc. So it's actually the larger stone, if you grid them, can create certain vortexes. And it's either via magnetic or electrical vortex grids. So again, that may not make sense to all of you, but when we're doing some of this energy exchange, typically people are either tapping into the electromagnetic or the electro, or the combination of the two, okay? But you can separate the two as well. Again, not going to get into detail with you right now, but just know, for you, those of you who understand that, that's what's available to you. It assists in meditation and increase intuitive sensitivity. So placing one around your third eye area or above your crown while in meditation or while laying down is a great way to enhance that. Now, I spoke about the different types. So I was talking about the included ones, right? The included ones, those have a little bit of the, you can see the inclusions in there, look like dark, right? People think these are lower quality, and they actually can get them for a lower price. But what you don't understand is that you may not understand is that it has a specific purpose, right? These stones versus the clearer ones. So don't let the inclusions confuse you or make you feel like you're not getting a powerful piece of work. The inclusions, larger inclusion Herkimer. So that's the other thing. If you want a bigger piece, typically they will have inclusions in them. Typically the clear Herkimers are a little bit smaller that they come through to be able to get off of the matrix. They come in pretty tiny, but the larger ones are excellent purifiers. So actually these large ones with inclusions, you could see that they're excellent for the purification aspect of Herkimer, right? So if you're looking to focus for more of a purification aspect, this one, ironically, makes a lot more sense. So, and it's just nicer, kind of a bigger size in your palm. It's good for removal of energetic cords, patterns from emotional body, and actually assists with your stamina and your energy. Again, it's focusing more on the purification standpoint. And when we actually have that purification, almost like you do a detox, right? You notice that you got an instant boost of energy. We're releasing that which does not serve us. And I've found, even with this one, that what'll happen is when you work with them, specifically for the purification aspect, right? I've actually found that they start clearing up eventually on their own. So you'll start seeing them get a little bit clearer, but I started getting more rainbows. Every time I check with this one, there's more rainbows in here than when I first got it. I didn't see half of the rainbows that I see on there now. Of course, they're not really coming through, but there are tons in here. Come through a little bit better on Facebook. I mean, on Instagram. So just understand that these stones are valuable. Well, don't see one that's got the inclusions of it and say, it's not worthy. It's just as worthy as the super clear ones and the purification. And by the way, it doesn't just purify. You're still getting all the other aspects of the dreaming and the visionary. But as you're getting those aspects of it, you also have an extra little purification part to it. So don't be distracted by the matrix, y'all. Let's see. So excellent for removal of energetic cords. So if you've got some attachments, some little energetic, hook-ons that you're feeling, these are excellent for that. Let's see here. Oh, I saw you. Hey, Gail. I think it's so small, almost nice. Oh, yes. I'm trying to, here, I'll boost myself up a little bit. Hi. Yeah, I was trying to show the crystal a little bit more so we can tune into the energy of that the codes that are coming through that crystal. So I'll leave that up for a little bit. I'll change it for the meditation, but thank you for that. So, okay. And for those who have had, what's interesting about this stone is for those who have had radiation therapy or have actually been exposed to radiation, this is an excellent, again, the purifying aspect of it, excellent for clearing that. And it'll actually assist in integrating those energies with better ease and grace, a better flow. And let's see, so the clear Herkimers actually assist in general healing by increasing the amount of light energy. I spoke of that before, light energy in the body, and converting that energy into energy we can utilize, right? So this is the beautiful, I showed you these crystals, these clear ones before, right? Here's a kind of smaller one. Again, you guys, we don't need big ones. Actually, my beautiful friend Yulia gifted me a sweet, like a little tiny one, like almost the size of this little thing on top here, right? If you can see that. Yeah, that's a little size of that. But it had so much energy in it. It was perfectly clear. It was just beautiful, beautiful energy. There's so much light that comes through these. So don't get distracted with the size of these. And again, I'm showing you the picture of this crystal for those of you who can't afford to buy any at all. Each of these days are going to be up on YouTube. They're scattered around Facebook and Instagram right now. But right now you can get all this information on YouTube along with the pictures. So tune into these whenever you want. If any of these crystals resonate with you, but you just can't afford to buy one right now, or you just don't want to spend the money, tune into them right now. We're sending the energy of each of these, and the codes are coming right through. So just know that that's available to you too, okay? And I told you I was going to share a story the other day about kind of that aspect of tuning into a crystal, right? Even when you don't physically have it. So the story goes that I purchased this beautiful big stone, and I just fell in love with it. I spent it was worth every penny, but I spent more money than I think I'd ever spent on an individual crystal before. But I knew that this needed to come home. I knew I needed to get it. And I was so excited. I had it, I want to say, for all of maybe a week or so. And then someone close to me was ready to make their transition. And someone close to them had actually really connected with the stone. And she didn't really even have a background on crystals, wasn't even following any of this. It's just, matter of fact, really didn't even need the crystal. It's just that when she held it, she instantly like had it go close to her heart. And I could see energetically that she couldn't let it go. Again, I had spent some money on it. So though I could see that this was doing some magnificent work for her, she was in a lot of pain emotionally from the loss of her loved one. And it just seemed to have a really deep connection with her. So I left it. And, I said, yeah, just hold on to it. And she was like, what? She knew the whole story behind it. And I said, no, hold on to it. It was meant for some reason to be with you. And I loved it to death. I really loved it. Loved it so much. But I knew that it was supposed to be with her. So she kept it. And she's, she said that at some point, if I ever wanted it back, I just call her. So I wasn't worried about it. And I never really got the call on my end to go take it back, to go pick it up, because it felt like it was doing so much work with her. And one day, I don't know, maybe about a year later or something, I was just kind of thinking and reminiscing about that stone. And I found myself actually getting sad because I didn't have it. And I'm thinking, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that I need to have this physical crystal in my place, because I know what they really do. And so I remembered, though, that once you connect with these crystals, you can actually tune into that energetic blueprint. And again, this is a reminder of that which exists within us, okay? So I went into meditation, and I just remembered the emotional outpouring that I felt when I held this crystal. I remembered how good I felt. It's just such a soul level, a deep level. I just felt this beautiful energy. And instantly I was able to recall that experience as if I was holding it physically in my hand. I was overwhelmed with this beautiful, deep peace and healing love. And I remember coming out of the meditation just thinking like, whoa, now that's some magic there. That's amazing. Because how many times have you gone into these crystal stores and you've seen these huge geodes, these beautiful things that you just look at the price tag and you're going, there's no way that thing is coming home with me, but you feel so drawn to it. If you take the time to tune into it and actually ask it to come into your field, for that energy to come into your field, and open your heart up to it at that point, you can actually call upon that energetic experience whenever you want to, without actually physically having it in your body. So, or physically holding it. So it's just a beautiful example and proof that yes, these really are beautiful reminders of that which exists within ourselves, and we can call upon it whenever we want to. So just know that. Okay, so we've got, yes, excellent support for the eyes and the eyesight, and it attunes to the white light of the divine essence. Remember, I was mentioning that we're dealing with straight divine source energy coming through, and this crystal is definitely to assist us with that. Because it is such a high vibrational stone, obviously it makes sense that it would assist us to communicate with the angelic realm. So the archangels, and sorry, my nose is a little itchy. Purple Archangelic, Standpoint, or even any of these ascended masters that we resonate with their teachings, this crystal is excellent to tune us into that. And I mentioned before, as far as lucid dreams and the dream state with these, you can actually place them under your pillow. Any stone you can place under your pillow. But the beauty about this one is if you actually place it under your pillow before you go to bed at night, and you set the intention to remember what it is that comes through, because you'll get really beautiful divine wisdom that'll come through when you intend that before you go to bed. So you could say, set forth an affirmation of actually calling forth divine remembrance of that wisdom, that message that wants to come through for you. So you can put, and again, if you don't have one, you just set forth that intention of calling forth the Herkimer diamond energy to assist you in recalling this lucid state, this dream that you were going to be having with this wisdom that can come through for you. And you call forth your highest dreams. You're calling forth the highest love and light that will serve your highest and greatest good. So you can say something like, I call forth my highest dreams, and I remember, integrate, and ground in the physical the highest possible spiritual energy. So we're actually asking with this intention to actually not only tune into the energy, to actually get the wisdom and to be able to embody it as light energy into our bodies, so that and making sure that it serves the highest possible spiritual energy. So intention, where they say where your intention goes, energy flows. So clarify that intention, be very clear, and allow this beautiful stone to come through and assist you to get that done. So as for some of the stones that it resonates well with, there's tons. Like I said, it's a magnifier, so any stone you work with will do really well. All the high vibrational stones, like I mentioned before, the Synergy 12 stones. So the phenakite, the moldavite, I'm blanking on all of them right now. Phenakite, moldavite, danburite, natural light. I'm going to be impressed if I remember them all. I'm not going to try. But if you actually, and any of the Synergy 12 work really well with the Herkimer, because the Herkimer is actually part of that. So we're tuning in again to that highest of high vibrations to come through. Moldavite in particular, though, actually my little earrings here are moldavite, and then these are Herkimers. These earrings are Herkimers. So when you wear them together, you're actually tuning in to spiritual transformation and evolution. So again, we're calling forth the purification aspect of Herkimer, and then with the moldavite, again, tapping into those higher realms. For those of you who are familiar with it, it's a tektite. That taps into the highest realms of wisdom. So by using, again, we're talking about a magnifier, by having the Herkimer with it, it's just that much more of a beautiful experience. So that I did pretty good. 37 minutes, I got into that. So what I did want to talk about today also, what was coming through, was as we begin each group of 7 days, there's always some message that's trying to come through, it seems like, on the beginning. It's interesting to me that these have been broken down into 7 days. And like I mentioned, each of these dates that they're correlated with in the real-time experience of this, there's an energetic pattern that's being created that is here and available for anyone who watches it at a later time. So today, on day 15 of this journey, we're tuning into the last finishing, putting everything together, bringing in a new experience, a new creation, a birthing. We just had yesterday the birthing of new ideas with fluorite is assisting in purification and birthing in the chaos. Amidst the chaos, still birthing divine purposes, divine mission that is coming forth. So we did a beautiful meditation yesterday to kind of tune into what aspects of ourselves were there and wanting to come forward for the next iteration of our soul's evolution. So today we're doing just a clearing, again, locking in and anchoring into that highest aspect, making sure that anything that came through is getting purified and cleansed to the highest level. And now we're stepping into this final 7 days, right? So as you see, as I have here, so let me do this. Behind me, you've seen my altar that I've had set, and I've talked about it a little bit. But the one that's coming forth today is to talk about the oils. So when you've seen me, with my diffuser back here, I've got water in there with, we've been called to use myrrh and myrtle. Let me pull it up. Where did my myrtle go? Here it is. Myrrh and myrtle for the past couple days. And I want to talk about the concept of myrrhophore, what a myrrhophore was. So I was affected by, or really drawn to oils a while ago, but I think I really delved into them when I was dealing with some health issues, because I was limited. As many of you know, there were some issues with the kidney not being able to process certain information, certain foods. Anything that was high in potassium, and high in animal protein, high in potassium or high in phosphorus, the body just didn't want to process, or it was just too taxing on the kidney to get it done. So anyone of you who know about food or what nutrients are inside of them know that the healthiest of the healthy superfoods that are here to assist typical bodies come high in potassium and high in phosphorus. Those are the things that that we really need in the bodies. So I was being challenged at that time with what to do to get this body to get back to normal, to kind of allow it to come back to homeostasis and to be stabilized enough to reintegrate some of these foods back into my body. So I stumbled upon, or I was already using essential oils, but I stumbled upon the concept of sacred oils, because what we're doing, when the reason that aromatherapy works is when we do a simple inhale, it goes, the molecules are so small that it actually penetrates the blood-brain barrier and actually goes straight to the brain and creates chemical reaction. Therefore, tricking the body, if you will, into thinking that it's got the food inside of it without having to actually process it, but it's still serving at a healing level and triggering the brain to move as if it has this nutrient inside it and assist the rest of the body to do it. So what I was doing, because I had a huge download about it, to really tap into the concept of the sacred oils, and that's why Sauna Mist was birthed, because I also didn't want to have alcohol in my body. So I created an alcohol-free sacred elixir with the sacred oils that I had been using on the daily to clear my space, whatever it was that I was using them for. But the oils themselves have a beautiful history behind them. And I want to say it's about 2500 or 2000 BCE is when we kind of start seeing some of this information about oils being used. And the concept of the myrrhophore, it's spelled like myrrh, right? Because it's what they were typically using, myrrhophore, which was the original and most popular or most famous myrrhophore was actually Mary Magdalene when she was anointing the feet of Jesus. So these myrrhophores would actually go and they would assist people in their passing as they were making their transition out of body. These myrrhophores would come and they would assist with the transition, sometimes assisting with at a healing level. And they were using these oils, the sacred oils, to do that. And I had just really a powerful experience of remembrance myself of that aspect of the lifetime. In that I had spent most of my, late teenage years into my 20s, all of a sudden being bombarded with being with experiences of people actually in their final days, being with them as they make the transition, to the point where even when my brother passed away, I was not physically with him, but I was entranced literally by his energy as he was making the transition. It's a whole other story, but it was a really, really powerful experience. Even though I physically wasn't with him, I was actually integrated with his energy without even knowing it. Really, it was just, I was entranced and I was moved and I was physical. There was this whole experience that went behind it. And so I have this pattern of this experience of being called to be with these people, these beautiful souls, as they're making that transition out of body. And so, like I said, I had a remembrance of the concept of the myrrhophore. They would go actually in the moment of transition and they would assist with that. They would assist with healing of the loved ones that were left behind, or even sometimes in these that were not ready to transition, and the healing using the oils from a healing standpoint. And then even after they had made the transition, then for mummification, these oils were used for that as well. Many religions still use these sacred oils to this day in remembrance of these traditions and these sacred traditions that were there. So there is, again, we are talking about earth elements that are representation of the perfection that exists within us. So these plant essences, in oil form, as they are, if you're talking about a company that is having these oils in the purest form, created with environmental awareness as well, right? Almost like when you're eating food, the reason we give a blessing before we eat it is because the energy that's actually imparted upon that food before we eat it, the farmers that farmed the food, the energy that was going with them, the cows, and the traumatic experience of the animals. If you're consuming animal animal food, if you will, interesting play on words right there. I won't even go there, but the way that these animals were treated, the energy, that all is a line that is connected up until the moment that you put it into your body, into your field. And so the same exists with these oils, that if you're going to buy oils that are not well sourced, or you're not aware of the train of how they kind of got to where they are to you today, there's a lot of energy expended there that you want to be careful with. So I went on a search trying to find the highest vibrational oils, and putting together this formula that came to me, that was divinely sent to me to put this together. And I just really started tuning into the beauty of these oils. So I'm always giving my friends oils for Christmas and the holidays or whatever it is. And they probably think I'm weird, but those who have actually used them and have had the experience with them, you can see that there's a beautiful message in these oils as well. So as we keep that in mind, it also assists in setting an altar. So when this actually represents the earth element, the oils do. So like over the past couple days, I said the oils that were coming through, and I'm forgetting to mention them to you, were actually myrrh and common myrtle. Common myrtle is more of like a pathway, kind of like an introduction to what do you call that though? It's more of a, hold on a second. It's more of a liaison into the world of essential oils. So if you're just getting started, if you could find some common myrtle, again, these oils are, especially the high quality of sacred oils, are pretty pricey and sometimes not affordable. So again, I'm revealing these and sharing these with you so you can tune into the beautiful energy that is here for them. And even if you can't purchase them, just know that that energetic blueprint is here for you. So that's what I've been using in the background. We've had some of the other days, we had some Palo Santo, some Copaiba, which is a copal, is beautiful energy. I can go into them a little bit later, but the purpose here was just to kind of reveal what's here in this field for you to tune into and to actually integrate with yourself as well. This one is a blend. It's straight, just oils. There is no carrier oil in here. It's just straight essential oils. So I've mentioned that I've got sovereign sanctuaries coming. We'll be launching at the beginning of the year. We're looking at right now, I want to say it was 111 that it's coming out, but it's dependent upon a lot of things that need to get it set up, like the website. So all of these will be available to you, and I'm doing bundles. So I'll be putting like the sauna mist, say every month. It's going to be a membership based. You can buy them individually as well. But every month I'll be doing a shipment of a sauna mist formula. You can get an individual oil of the month that I'll have open for you. I am doing mostly doTERRA oils, because as far as the sacred oils and the way that they're created, I'm very, very happy with them. But if they don't carry certain sacred oils that I know I want to work with, I work with companies like Wisdom of the Earth out of Cottonwood, Arizona, and Young Living as well, if there's certain ones that they have. But typically doTERRA is my go-to. I've been able to find pretty much everything I needed there. So you have access to that as well. But for the most part, what we're looking at doing is doing a crystal of the month, and an oil of the month. And then we'll be putting together some other things to actually assist you to create this sovereign sanctuary, to remind you of this beautiful field and space of sovereignty that you have access to every day of your life. And just to get in the habit of setting sacred space wherever you go. You know, that's why something like this is nice to have, because you can take it around with you. It has the crystals in here. We've got the Himalayan salt in there. We've got the sacred geometry. This is literally all of the elements in this bottle. So this is literally a sacred altar in a bottle, if you will. But as you get into these and you start, you know, really honing in on certain aspects, you'll be wanting to create your own space and create your own customized experience. So we'll have all these things available to you. And I'm excited about it because I love it so much. It's like playing. This is so much fun to me. So, but all of my oils, all of my, anything of this crystalline aspect are being toned into by me. I am actually, for those of you who know, I am a singer, singer-songwriter as well. And so right now I'm not doing a lot of those live performances at all. So I'm putting my beautiful energy into these crystals and into these oils and into these sacred elixirs for you. So know that the intention behind each of these is really, really high. And the thought process that's been put together in order to bring these to you is just of the highest light and highest intention. So it's part plug, but also to just let you know what is here. Again, this intention was for you to be able to get this energetic output, this beautiful energetic print, if you will, of all of these different elements. Again, we've got the element of fire back here with the candle. We've got the earth elements. I've got wind. I've got a couple of things that represent wind, but beautiful eagle feather that was gifted to me by a powerful, beautiful shaman. And of course, crystals everywhere, right? Crystals are the ultimate expression, or one of the beautiful expressions of earth elements. So we've got earth, the water in here, the fire, and then spirit overall is actually in all of this. But this grid in particular is bringing in that highest vibration as well. So just wanted to make sure I'm showing that to you. I keep forgetting to kind of allow you to see that. Okay, so let's go into higher, deeper, wider. Higher, deeper, wider, like I mentioned, was something that was given to me through Spirit to go into each of these crystals and talk about, from a higher, deeper, and wider perspective, what they have to offer towards our soul's evolution, okay? So we start off with higher, just because that's the order it came into me, right? And what Spirit did was actually gave me new words for each of these terms. So the term higher, deeper, and wider, or these words were given to kind of capture the attention, since it's pretty understandable what we would be referring to when using these words. There's also an aspect of reanalyzing these words and how they've been used. So typically when we use the word higher, we automatically start thinking of like a hierarchy, right? We start judging and starting setting like limits, or setting places of categorizations of where things lie. But when we are talking at this level of spirit, this level of spiritual evolution, we understand that that spirit is everywhere. We talk about going high up to heaven, when the reality is that heaven exists wherever we create it. We understand when we talk about higher vibrations, which is probably the best way that we can express this. It's easy to get caught up in judgment of those that are not of the higher aspect, right? Understanding, though, that all colors of the spectrum, all colors of all aspects of the spectrum are here to serve a highest and greatest good. Even the quote lower ones, the denser ones, the darker colors, right? Typically everyone's focused on the clear. Even that's why I was mentioning here, even the clear, when it's got the inclusions, there is deep divine purpose, and in both aspects of the spectrum here. So again, when we talk about higher, we want to get out of that mentality of hierarchy, understanding that spirit is omnipresent, omnipotent, always in its fullest around us, everywhere, right? So instead, if we consider the term release, and it asks, what can be released so that more may be revealed? So when we're tapping into the first level, the higher aspect, wanting to raise our vibrations, as we call it, right? Want to lift up, to step into this observer role of what's happening and kind of disconnect from attachment to what the meaning is behind, just see things for what they truly are from this higher perspective. If we consider the concept of release and tap into and ask this question, what can be released so that more may be revealed? We start moving in to a deeper awareness, and we start getting a deeper purpose, or a deeper alignment with what our purpose is. So how Herkimer diamond can affect us and assist us in regards to stepping into that higher aspect of ourselves. It actually physically brings us into that element. Again, it's got that method of purification that you can tap into, right? To assist us in figuring it out. What is it that can be released so that more may be revealed? So when we hold a piece of Herkimer and we ask this question, we understand that the purification aspect is going to probably step forward, and that the visionary aspect of us, right? The ability to see that which needs to be released steps forward when we're holding a piece of Herkimer. So again, you can look at the definitions that I've given you before, but this is kind of going of what a Herkimer represents. But this is going at a deeper level, okay? This is kind of taking it like Herkimer 2.0, right? Okay, so that was higher. Now we go deeper. So we went higher, now we go deeper. And this word is that we're kind of looking at, because again, when we consider the word deeper, sometimes we correlate that with like lower, less than, right? Looking down upon. And so instead to consider the concept of rooted. Now that we know from the higher perspective, once we've done that first aspect of it and figured out what it is that can be released so that more may be revealed, then we root into what truth, with a capital T, is calling for deeper embodiment. So again, now as the rooted aspect, this is that literal, like I said, where we are right now at a collective level, is the concept of digging deeper, rooting into these teachings, and now tapping into what truth, with a capital T, the truth of who we are, is calling for deeper embodiment. So now that we've had that higher experience, or if you will, we've released what can be released so that more may be revealed. The next thing, when we get into the deeper / rooted concept, is what is that thing that's been revealed? Hone in on that and figure out which of those things that are being revealed, that are coming to our consciousness in this moment, what particular truth in this moment is calling for deeper embodiment. So this is where the Herkimer could come in with it and assist with this, as far as giving us more clarity and clearing that mind opening, right? To be able to tune in and focus, like, okay, on the first step of going higher and releasing what needs to be released, like figuring out what that is so that more may be revealed, we may find that quite a few things come up, right? As we're releasing some of these high, not so great serving energies, we may have a lot coming up that wants to be done. So when we go deeper, we're kind of in the moment, in the now, focus on one. We're just focusing on one particular truth. What is calling for deeper embodiment? And once we kind of hone in on that and focus on that, right, then we can go wider. Then we can start looking at it from a more consider the word inclusion. So we're talking about what it needs to be included instead of going wider, because from the human perspective, we can literally only see within a certain peripheral that we have, right? Even if we extend our peripheral vision to its widest, in the physical, we have some limitations. So when we're looking at wider, instead consider inclusion. Instead of looking at something to open our arms to, instead consider the concept of inclusion. What have we been excluding from our field, right, that wants to be brought forward? And what opening, the question is, what opening wants to occur in order to assist with my spiritual expansion and ascension? What is it that wants to open within me in order to fully integrate whatever it was that we've figured out to focus on, right? What is it that wants to be included in my field? Typically, these are things that we set up a little bubble, an energetic bubble, a little world that we're living in, and we deem certain things not worthy of our presence. We deem certain things as being, we're having to resist them. And as we know, that which we resist persists, right? So this is asking, okay, now that you're in this centered space, now that you're in this collective state of mind, what can you open up to that you may have been avoiding before? We don't do this in a scattered space. We don't do this in a space where we're living in fear, doubt, worry, okay? This isn't an exercise we perform when we are not centered. The order of these particular higher, deeper, wider is to make sure that we are centered, so that when we get to this aspect of wider and we're willing to include something into our field, we are so centered and ready that that which has not served us can fall away anyway. And all that can be embodied in this space, in this field, is that which is of the highest love and light, and that which is here to serve our highest and greatest good. So when we step into this concept of wider inclusion, this is where action is taken. This is where we actually act upon, because it's asking, what opening wants to occur in order to assist with my spiritual expansion and ascension? We are now stepping into action. We are now going in a certain trajectory and focused on what the next steps are. So this is where the action kind of kicks in, and we'll figure that out. So the Herkimer helps us with that, because it actually gives us the energy and stamina. It assists with, again, because it's able to clear away, like I mentioned before, the detox aspect of it, right? This also gives us a boost of energy. And when we have that energy and that centeredness, we're feeling empowered, we're feeling stabilized enough to take something on that may have been, at another time in our life, it just wasn't the time to do it. We're not sitting in self-deprecation because we're punishing ourselves for something that we didn't do, or, we don't do any of that. In this state of centered awareness, we are solely focused on expanding our spiritual, expanding from a spiritual standpoint, and the ascension of our spirit, of our soul at that moment. So this is how Herkimer can help us. These 3 questions, if you ask them within the confines of each of these crystals and how they can assist you, they're very powerful. Very powerful experience. For those of you on Instagram who may not have been able to catch those, you can go onto YouTube, where I actually have them. You'll see them on the screen, or feel free to go back and watch this. I'll have this stored on my live stream mission page on both Facebook and Instagram. But like I said, YouTube has all of these available to you right away, so you can go there and check in with these and do the exercise. But it's a powerful process. And these crystals are here to facilitate that full expansion. And the avatars and the divine beings that are here that have used these crystals for years to impart this wisdom are just so elated that we're spending this time with these, and still understanding all along the way that we have everything that we need within, that all we need to do is tap into that divine source, that clear channel, and allow this wisdom to come through our bodies. And then we can use these beautiful crystals and oils and all the beautiful tools that we've been given from this earth to assist us in doing that. So that is what we've got covered. I think we've covered everything. I'm getting better, right on the hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into meditation. I think there was some more info I wanted to cover, but I don't want to go too long. So looks like we're going to do these 2 stones. So get comfy. We're going to do a quick meditation, and let me set my Instagram peeps up on a little something. Let me bring up a crystal for you on there. Oh, beautiful. And kind of hone in on that. So make it a little bit bigger. And for my peeps on Instagram, let's let you tune into that puppy. Okay. Beautiful. I'm loving it. It's just right in the middle there. Okay. So taking a deep breath, deep inhale. Pure light, pure highest energy and love and light. Breathing all that wants to be released. Releasing it. And take another deep breath of life all the way down into the gut area. Deep belly breath. Releasing all that does not serve us. And one last deep belly breath all the way in, breathing all the light we can bring into our beingness right now. And releasing all blockages that would get in the way of that light. Calling forth the divine connection to the highest aspect of each and every person in this now moment on this transmission, and in the future now moment. Knowing that in this field, only the highest love and light is all that exists. Anything less than that is sent back to source, raised to its highest vibration, and instantly transmuted into love. Feeling into the purifying energy of the Herkimer diamond as it comes with its fierce energy to clear the field, purify it, and set an element of safety beyond human understanding, a remembrance of the sovereign being that each and every one of us has within us. Again, that highest aspect of ourselves, stepping forward to be present for this beautiful meditation. Breathing into this beautiful unified field of oneness, while still maintaining the unique, individualized expression of spirit. Knowing that spirit is fully expressed all around us. In such deep gratitude for all the beautiful avatars, ascended masters, archangelics, beings of the highest love and light who have come here to assist with raising the field of the human consciousness. Knowing that all is well. And allowing this beautiful rainbow light of the Herkimer diamond, all colors of the spectrum, feeling it streaming through crown chakra, the top of your head. And paying close attention to any sparks or colors or visions of colors in the mind. Knowing there's a recalibration of the neural pathways in the brain. Hemispheres, both hemispheres of the brain are synchronizing, aligning with the heart, intertwining the energy around the throat, the communication, the expression of the truth of who we are. Letting it all come together. Purifying and cleansing anything in its wake, raising its vibration to the highest love and light. Feeling at a cellular level the healing that is coming through the body. This beautiful healing rainbow light. The brilliance of the purity of this energy. It's almost blinding. Yet we can see, for we are using the eye behind the eye, human eye. The eye that sees all, despite what holographic image may be imprinted in front of it. All that it sees is truth. All that it sees is love, peace, joy. Seeing blues and whites and pinks. And as we use this eye behind the human eyes, there's a healing of the actual human eyes. A clearing, an integration of the wisdom that comes through the third eye into integrating into the physical vision, consciously bringing forth this highest wisdom, literally seeing it through the human perception, widening that perspective, seeing the whole story, the whole truth. Whereas our perspective was limited before, now it is infinite. And all that is being asked is to be the ultimate seeker of truth. Purpose that is coming forth, purpose that is revealing itself for you, is this fullest expression of your individual gift that only you can bring to the world. Tapping into that uniqueness, understanding that there is no other duplicate of you anywhere in the cosmos. You are literally a miracle. Allowing the energy of the miracle that you are to run through your body. Integrating that truth. Opening the heart so wide. And imagining what happens when every decision that you make is made from this heart space. Seeing the portals that open the moment you do this, every decision. Experiencing firsthand your spiritual expansion, what the possibilities are. Seeing the many different trajectories you can take. Asking your highest aspect of yourself to reveal which truth wants to be expressed in the now. And knowing that all resources will be afforded you once you commit and you give the sacred yes to this mission. Simply your intention of your sacred yes opens the floodgates of resources, abundance, in order to allow you to live in the overflow. And share from there. You are whole, you are complete, you are love. You are, I am, we are. It is. And so it is. Recognizing this beautiful, divine, unified field and flow that we are floating in. And that this purity of intention to be fully expressed in order to allow the highest and greatest to reveal itself to us. Being in this space, in this flow, we allow the mind to connect with it in order to remember, to remember, to remember that this is the truth of who we are. This light, this brilliant star. And everything that we need is right here and accessible at any given moment. Deep gratitude for all the avatars that have come forth to assist with this transmission. On this beginning of the final 7 days, these powerful messages of crystal heartenings, crystal heart openings. Tune back into the physical body, this beautiful life that we've been given, the miracle that we are. Feel into our arms, our legs. This new earth we are creating. Come back whenever you are ready. Open your eyes, move your feet, stretch out a little bit. And welcome back. I'm so grateful to all of you who have been here for many of these days already. And looking forward to the remainder to get going. We've got a powerful group of stones coming to finish off these last, now 6 days left. And beautiful messages of love for all of you. And I appreciate your yes. I appreciate your sacred yes. If you've been called here just to tune in, know that you're getting the information, whether you understand all of it or not. And know that a beautiful energy of love, peace, joy is being sent out to all of you. And just sacred blessings to each of you. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock Pacific time, once again for day 16. And God bless. Peace and blessings all. Bye-bye.